made for kids. I reckon we should start off by the question is, why didn't YouTube notify us creators previously when they knew about it? That's $1 million question.
Well, in all fairness, I think they're kind of doing it not the right way around, but a better way than they did with the whole like monetization thing. They're giving us 2 months.
Yeah.
They're giving us 2 months and their own algorithms 2 months. 2 months to kind of get it under their skin. I think the problem lies is if it doesn't, are they still going? They have to go live, don't they, in January? So if they can't fix it by then, we're kind of a little screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're quite stuck in the kind of like position where we're in, and so is YouTube, to be fair, because they kind of got pulled up on this, obviously, because they were saying in statements to actual toy makers and things like that effectively YouTube is the place to advertise to kids, and that's kind of where they've been pulled up, and that's why they had to go down this settlement route, is because of that. To places like, I think it's Hasbro. There's a couple on the FTC website that you can kind of go and read up on it. And that's where they kind of got, caught out by it, I guess. But yeah, because of that, obviously, we're going to be hit by it, because they've kind of said, well, actually, the content creators themselves are well aware of their content.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've kind of been hit by that on the side, and the problem is with COPPA and with especially with YouTube's implementation of how they want to fix it, is it kind of hits us very hard. It makes it very grey, and that's kind of like the big problems that we've got.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think the biggest problem we got at the moment is how much of a grey area it is, and the fact it kind of came out of nowhere, unless you knew it was coming. It just showed up one day. Like, I remember I was sitting in my kitchen and I was doing some like description or something to a video I was putting up, and it popped up. Do you want to make it for kids or not for kids? And I was like, oh, what the hell's this?
Yeah.
Like, it kind of popped out of nowhere. So I think, like, reading into it, and definitely the first thing anyone needs to do is literally go look it up. Type in COPPA and go have a look for what's actually written for it. And it's the fact that we were saying earlier before we kind of started that everything's such a grey area. You know what I mean? There's not like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing, which is the problem. It's the problem, and as far as YouTube's concerned and we're concerned in YouTube terms, that will be the problem. But as far as COPPA's concerned, that's our greatest advantage.
Yeah.
Because it's not, there is no case law for it, This has never been done before. It's completely new.
Well, they tried bringing out different things like, the kid-friendly channels, the kid-friendly, family-friendly. They come out with Article 13. Now they're hitting us. They hit us with the apocalypse, and now they're bringing out COPPA.
Yeah, well, COPPA's been around since 1998. It's not new.
No, it's not. Yeah. It's not new. I think 2015 is when the kind of internet side of it, the tracking cookies.
Yeah.
Might be wrong on the date on that, but I'm pretty sure it's 2015 is what I've heard. That's when the actual date came in where, tracking cookies for anybody under the age of 13 actually came in, which is totally valid. And YouTube, in order to kind of get on board with that, they obviously, you can't create an account if you're under the age of 13. And what it does is it then takes you down a different road, which is into YouTube Kids. So that was the idea. That was the way around it. And the way that YouTube was dealing with it was YouTube Kids, and then they wouldn't get any adverts. They wouldn't be tracked. They wouldn't have their information tracked from that side. The problem is that I think it was like 60 to 80% of adults give their kids their tablet or their phone, which has YouTube, and with them logged in.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is YouTube will start to track in the background. They'll start to see, oh, this person likes all this kid content. They like this. Let's keep on serving to them. Let's advertise them. Let's recommend more of this. Now, that's not our fault. We can't tell that they're 13. Actually, on our demographics in the background of YouTube, what we'll see is that what we think is our audience is probably not true. And that's the problem we've got. And that's what we would usually do in order to say, if we did say our content's not for kids, and look, you can have a look at this video's stats behind it, and here's the demographics that YouTube is telling me is who is watching it. And that's good because that lines up with my target audience. we can't prove it because of this issue where YouTube has actually effectively said this is the best place to advertise to kids, and they've kind of got around it in order to make money. So it's such a big issue that we can't prove who is watching our videos, and how we then can't say if we did get into like a court case, would really struggle in order to actually prove that, especially with the measures that YouTube has put on place currently to make us more kid friendly. That's the other thing, more family friendly. I think family friendly is probably the better term than kid friendly, but yeah, more family friendly. So we're quite stuck on that. So I've seen quite a lot of YouTube channels, change or disappear, and yeah, it's very difficult from that side because they just can't make a living from YouTube so much because they might swear too much, so then they get demonetized. So we've been pushed into this little gap, and now obviously we're getting hit from the other side as well.
Yeah, and I think it's going to, like my personal opinion, I think it's going to do exactly the opposite to what it's been put in place for. I think you'll end up having channels making more senior content just to get away from, oh my God, just, is it going to be marked as deemed for kids? And then you'll have the content creators that are making it for kids just flooding the space with absolute crap because they have to put 3 or 4 videos out a day just to make any kind of living out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If anything, it's going to go back on what, because let's be fair, YouTube's had some problems in the last couple of years, and in the last 6-7 months, it's kind of like evened itself out. It's just going to put us back another 3 or 4 years. It really is.
Yeah, definitely. No, it makes it more difficult again, which is the real shame. It really does.
Jesterwish with a vape.
It's not a vape. It's blurred out, mate. Look,
yeah, it's
blurred. Don't smoke, kids.
No, but there's so many different things. I mean, there's so many different channels talking about so many different things about COPPA or COPPA or whatever you want to stop at the COPPA.
Hey, stop at the COPPA.
Stop at the COPPA. A lot of people are saying that Minecraft channels are going to be affected. You got half the people saying that Minecraft channels won't be affected. I've seen a lot of people actually making their channels, not demonetizing their own videos, but making them invisible, private, and taking them all down. I've seen a lot of people say, if it happens, it happens. Obviously, the big YouTubers and that are saying, well, if I get copped with a fine, I get copped with a fine, but I'm not going to stop my videos being launched. There's so many different things, and no one's really explained to us as creators what the go is. It's, as you said before, it's that gray area.
Yeah.
They should put out something and literally like give it a spokesperson or something from YouTube and actually say, this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to affect. And if you do have gaming videos that are under 15 or whatever, that is going to be classified as made for kids. The only thing I can think of is to temporarily sort the situation out, is actually put a disclaimer at the very start. This is made for 15 plus. This is a tutorial. But do you really want to do something like that?
Yeah, I mean, let's have a discussion about the disclaimer, because I think it's quite an important point. Can we actually use a disclaimer? Because we don't know. And this is the other thing that we should have probably said at the beginning, is that we are free idiots. So anything that we do say, take a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
We'll a general
probably
chat.
Yeah, we're just having kind of like a general chat about this, and we thought it'd be a really good kind of podcast, really good way, doing it live as well. Kind of really helps. But yeah, could we get away with putting a disclaimer at the beginning, say, warning, this video is not for children. If you're under the age of 13, click away now. Obviously not with a weird voice, because that might be then seen as a kid's character. But is that even a possibility that we can do?
I don't know.
Again, like you were saying, because it hasn't shown up yet, we can't. You know what I mean? Like literally, if you go on the COPPA website, and I've got this written in my phone just so I can pull it up. Right, this is literally what they say. This is written in COPPA law. Right. So to be clear, your content isn't considered directed. Let me try and start this again. To be clear, your content isn't considered directed to children just because some children may see it. That's literally written in there. So, just because children may see it doesn't mean it's not covered. Get what I mean? So even they don't know. They haven't got a clue. They literally don't have a clue.
I think what they mean by that is like if you're a mechanic, right? Yeah, you're a musician, right?
Yep.
And it's like I'm going to do a video on how to tune a guitar, right? Now, as a musician in a band, right, doing tours and stuff, you're trying to give the best information in a tutorial the best you can, and you're not aiming it at kids, right? You're doing it for people older, obviously older than 15 plus or whatever. But say my son, right? He's 10, comes on and says, "Oh, look, it's Jesterwish. He's teaching you how to, tune a guitar."
Yep.
That shouldn't be affected.
No.
But there are people that saying that their channels are being affected already because of it. But when you look at that sort of angle where you're trying to tune a guitar and do that as a tutorial to show people older than 13 plus, but then when we do Minecraft videos, it's pixelated characters, it's a game, building blocks like Lego. It's a lot of kids are going to watch it more than adults, you know what I mean?
Well,
and this is what...
See, that's the bit that gets me, right? So, there's three of us here. We're all roughly the same age. What's the reason we all play Minecraft? Really? It's because we all probably played with Lego or Connects or Meccano or something like that when we were a kid. Yeah, that's why we do it, right?
I do it to stimulate my brain. Yeah. I do it to stimulate my brain. Just like sit back, relax. It's like, ooh, I created that. Cool. It works.
But like
Zarius
for us,
block. Zarius put block down. Happy.
I'm happy. Yay.
Is that what you mean? But no, yeah. I mean, for me, it was Connects and Lego.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Lego.
I absolutely
100%.
loved making stuff with Connects. I loved making stuff with Lego.
Yeah.
I made this. I remember making a Millennium Falcon out of multicolored yellow, Lego blocks because I couldn't afford the real thing.
I did the same thing. Used to go on, what was it called? Mock pages. You could download the instructions. So as long as you had the pieces, it didn't really matter.
I didn't have any instructions. Mine was hideous.
Welcome Internet Rex Gaming. I remember you. Welcome to the stream, man.
But like the reason why we play these games is nostalgic, which if we go and have a look at how because YouTube gives you the power to go and check your analytics out, you can kind of see, like you were saying earlier. If you have a look, I can guarantee you your base age, the majority of your channel is like 21 to 35.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%, right? Because so it's a nostalgic thing, right? That's why we do it. It's a nostalgic thing because we enjoy it. It reminds us of being kids and taking our mind off stuff, right? So the problem we got is YouTube themselves physically cannot prove that it's not a kids thing. As far everything YouTube has put in place shows that it isn't. As we're talking about Minecraft in generalities, yeah? So everything, you look at analytics, you look at the amount of time watched, you look at the devices that they watched on, everything on that shows that it isn't aimed at kids because kids aren't viewing it, right? So if YouTube can't prove intent, there is no way in hell COPPA's going to be able to.
At the same time, you have got the reason that they got into this trouble is because of their parents giving them their devices. And so the age for us, what we see, could be wrong to the actual fact.
100, and let's be fair, it probably is.
Yeah.
It probably is, but then how can YouTube prove that?
I know. That's where we are very stuck.
That's the thing. If it ever, we're all, let's be fair, the whole reason where everyone's so worried about this is that it's that $42,500 fine, isn't it? Don't know what that works out in British pounds, but it's $42,500.
But then you mentioned something, Daki. You mentioned something. If you earn a certain amount through ad revenue, that's as far as they will go up to.
Yeah. So what it seems to be, that is the maximum fine. At least what I've been able to read. Maximum fine is this $42,000 per offence. So that could be per video in our case.
Yeah.
But it does look like the way that they figure out their fines is that they won't make it so that your channel or your business, because it's obviously more business model, your business won't go out of business because they fined you so much. So that's what it seems to be. So obviously for us that'll be a lot less, but still it's not worth it. It'll be one of those things where if you did get hit, that'd be it. You're just going to go, Right. Well, that's it. I'm gone because we don't. Let's be honest. We don't earn a lot of money from YouTube.
No.
Not enough to, all three of us, even if we pulled all of our resources, we wouldn't make enough money collectively to actually pay for like a mortgage, a house, whatever, food, all that stuff. Maybe the occasional, I don't know, beer. That's about it. Yeah, so we shouldn't be able to get fined that maximum amount, but it's still possible. That is the maximum fine. They could still go, yep, we don't care about damaging a business, and we're just going to go for it. We're going to go ham. You've got 24 offences. That's $1 million. Pay me.
Yeah, and that's the slippery slope we're all talking about then, because the minute they do that, if you've got that amount of content and you've got that amount of money to really worry about it, you're going to turn around and go, that's absolutely fine, I'll see you in court.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, and if you put everything, like I was saying, they haven't got enough evidence to prove it, never mind prove intent. The only way they prove it is if you were putting out slasher videos and marking them all, yes, this is made for kids, yes, this is made for kids, yes, this is made for kids. You know what I mean? Like, even if they pulled, if they pulled one of our videos right now and went, oh, you swore in that and you said it was made for kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other side of it, because we've got all of this stuff here. The pressure on us is actually now to mark our videos for kids, because you go, Minecraft, it's a 10 and up kind of game. Yeah. Therefore, from that side, they could go, anything that's Minecraft is made for kids because of that age range that you've actually got it in.
Yeah.
What was I goddamn talking about? It's not about age range.
Welcome, Jimmy McKinley. Welcome to the stream, man.
Yeah. What are we going on about, Z? Come on.
I'll
leave it over to you now.
I'm just saying hi. No, I was going to do a video in the last couple of days. I spoke to you guys about it, what I'm going to do, and I still plan on doing this video. But I'm going to wait a couple more weeks until we get more information about it. But if it comes down to that, they say, yeah, because as you just said, Minecraft is made for 10 and up, all right? And look, we all like playing Legos when we were a kid and stuff like this. I watch a priest. Believe it or not, I watch a priest on YouTube where he is a massive Star Wars fan. And his YouTube channel is basically doing like a little podcast and stuff. But he actually sits there with two cameras, one on his face, one on the actual Lego. And he builds all the Star Wars and Harry Potter stuff. Now, he doesn't aim that to a certain age. Because everyone likes Lego and he loves Star Wars and everyone loves Star Wars and stuff like this, and he talks about other things, is he going to be affected? Is he going to be affected in that channel? He's not aiming it at anyone in particular. And if it does come down to the fact that YouTube says, okay, Minecraft is deemed for kids, and not just adults, but for kids, that you're going to have to demonetize your videos. You're going to have to sort all that stuff out. I will put everything as kids, and I will no longer be uploading Minecraft videos to the channel anymore.
Yeah.
Because there will be no point. And as you said, we're not, as a collectiveness, all three of us put together would not be able to earn enough money for a mortgage, as you said, or, keep yourself in food and groceries and bills and electricity and that. So the question is, would you go to work and do a full day's work and put all your effort into it and expect nothing back? Would you do it for free, basically? Because I know I wouldn't.
No.
Because the views on my channel at present doesn't live up to the level of effort and stuff put into the actual video itself and the creation of it. And like someone said to you in your channel, Daka, about when are you going to build ships? And he said, by the time you put 25 to 30 hours in it, then you break it down, tutorial it, then you edit it, then you upload it to the view ratio, doesn't go to the revenue ratio. Is it worth it? No, it's not. At the end of the day, it saddens me. It breaks my heart that, people follow me for Minecraft videos and stuff like that. But if come push to shove, I have to not only bugger myself up and hurt myself from putting out content, but the people that actually sub to me to watch that kind of content don't get that content anymore. You know what I mean? So it's a sad topic, this COPPA thing, man. It's got everyone buzzing, and
I think, yeah, so you mentioned, the monetary side of it as well, but there's also the other aspects of if you mark your entire channel for kids, which is you lose your comments. You lose your... I can't remember if you lose your subs or just the notifications. I can't remember if you guys know either.
No, I'm not sure.
It's one of them. I know you lose notifications. You might even lose people being able to sub to your channel. You lose the community. You lose being recommended. Yeah. So even if you did continue as a made-for-kids Minecraft channel, no one would find you. No one would watch you.
No.
And no one would be able to talk to you. You'd be there as this just empty kind of gap.
Robot.
And the reasons behind it are really good. So especially with the comment side of it, is that's to stop predators against people that are under the age, underage, that wouldn't know different. But at the same time, you then lose that community. And I think all of us would agree that one of the best parts of Minecraft is the community side of it. Yeah. Even if you're not earning a lot and you've actually got some people that you chat to on a regular basis. I mean, it's like last night I was chatting to one of my Patreons and we were building for a good couple hours. And that would not happen if I wasn't playing Minecraft and if I wasn't on YouTube doing that, And it was just really nice. It was just like a really good chat that we ended up having for about 4 hours, I think it ended up being. Just kept on going on. But that side of it will just be gone. With if everything is marked as just for kids, that'll be it. It'll be gone. And that's what's a real shame is everything that we've kind of worked towards, what we've built up over the years.
Yeah.
Could just disappear, and that's really sad.
Stiggerton Plays says COPPA is an American rule, so they pull like a Dutch YouTuber to pay them because they are uploading on YouTube. That is an international platform. So yeah, even though COPPA is based in America, and the age in America is 13 plus, where the rules in the UK I think is 15 plus is classified as a kid. Even though it's based in America, it's world platform. It's throughout the world. So we've all got to abide by that kind of rule. Rancho, welcome to the stream, man. Came in to check and say this. I got 3 notifications at the same time, and I was super loud.
That's good. That's
awesome,
brilliant.
Man. Awesome.
That is good.
Yeah. So yeah, even though it's an American-based company, it's world-based.
Yeah, it's because of it being YouTube is based in America. Because of that, they have to first and foremost comply with any US laws, and because of that, it gets pushed onto us. So all of the data that's been stored is in America as well, from what I understand. Yeah. I bet you there'll be data centers around the world for it, but it has to be done in the American way, and that's why it affects everybody on YouTube. So it's not just gamers, it is everybody on YouTube has to kind of have a look. And like you were saying, Z, people that are collecting toys that could just be lifelong collectors, they're getting stung by it. It's like I seriously wish when I was a kid I had some Star Wars toys, and I really wish I'd saved those. I really do, because they were awesome, but I ended up getting rid of them, which is a real shame. But now, like, I do occasionally watch some of those channels. I go, I remember having that, and I wish I still had that. But is that content for kids? Yes, it's toys, but it's like these older toys, and it's that nostalgia kind of thing, which is why we kind of look at it, because we go, God, I remember when I was a kid, or I couldn't own that, and this guy's been making a collection, and I might not be able to afford the £200, £300, £500 or whatever it is for these like real collector's items, but I can watch somebody else that's got them, and you still get that kind of feeling from it, and that's how you kind of end up getting, or how your actual audience is probably older than it thinks it is. But because COPPA could come on, or sorry, not COPPA, the FTC can come in and go, that's toys, that's for kids, they're not swearing, there's no adult themes here, he's quite excited about it, and because let's be honest, some of these guys that are on there with their toy collecting can be a bit...
See, this is the question I've got, right? Now, I'll mark this video as not for kids, right? When I go in to edit this thing now and it says it's not made for kids. Now, we're talking about like toys and stuff like that. Now, you see people behind have all these like, fluffy teddies and pillows. I mean, like, here we go, right? Oh, look, is this made for kids? But if I say shit, motherfucker, bitch, which... What,
oh, that's it. Just demonetize 3 streams in one go.
Well done, well, what does that do, see?
That demonetizes us.
Is it demonetized? Is that made for kids? Or is that
£120,000 fine through the door right now?
Yeah, we just still got fined. Thanks.
But there we go. But that's the thing, and that's the situation we're in. That's the situation. We don't know. Like, we're three guys, right? Three YouTubers having a chat about a serious topic and a conversation that everyone's talking about, right? And just say now, hypothetically, I've got stuff in the back. Now, is that bringing attention to young kids?
It could
but
be.
But it's three adults talking about a serious conversation, and someone just drops an F-bomb like I just did. Does that mean that's adult and not made for kids?
Yeah. Have you read the FTC paperwork on it, where it talks about visual content?
I think I've gotten halfway, so I probably have. It
says halfway down. So visual content, anything that could be child-oriented content, the kind of music, the age of any like models or screenplay that you're using, any if you're using like a child celebrity or reference a child celebrity, the language you're using, and if you have a competent kind of like idea of the audience is coming out of all of those things I've just read out, which sounds like it would like bugger us.
Yeah.
All of that is not evidence that it's for kids.
Right.
And they say that. They have that written in their thing. You could have every one of those in your content and still. So, here we go. Any of you watch Rick and Morty?
I've heard of it. There's like.
So it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a cartoon, right? That is most definitely not anyone. There we go. South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. South Park, Family Guy, American Dad.
Think about it. Everything I just read out. So it takes South Park, child-oriented content. It's a cartoon. The kind of music it uses, it's really, really child-friendly. Age of the models, they're all kids in it. They're constantly using child celebrities, and the language that they use, they're all kids.
Yeah.
So is that, you know what I mean? That's definitely not made for kids. So I think everyone on YouTube right now is kind of freaking out at the fact that they think COPPA's shown up to kind of like do us in and leave us in the gutter. But COPPA itself, the idea of it is fantastic. Don't take that away from it. It's brilliant. You know what I mean? We should be happy the fact that they're trying to separate it, to protect the 100%. Like you were talking about earlier, Dak, about predators in the comment section. That's amazing. Oh, Spazza's in the channel. There we go.
Welcome, Spazza.
Welcome, Spazza. And Rancher's in.
Welcome,
Didn't
Rancher.
see you two show up. Slipped in undetected then. Just because all these things are there to get us, I think at the moment there's not enough information, and we need to remember that YouTube themselves are probably sitting there having this conversation with their partners, going, how the hell are we going to implement this? Because at the end of the day, YouTube themselves, we got to remember, doesn't want this to happen. Because it's going to take all the money. They make profit from every ad revenue, yeah? That's how they make money.
Yeah.
That's how they make the money. So they do not want... Think how many huge Minecrafters there are. Like serious, massive Minecrafters. There's probably a good third of gaming channels out there came from a Minecraft background.
Well, they're pretty much nearly everybody started off with Minecraft at some point. Till it blossomed into whatever they're doing these days. And before that, any game that kind of did blossom into that was always a child-friendly game. It's a game at the end of the day, isn't it? Yeah.
So they're going to lose so much money over it as well. So they're probably just as confused as we are. And I think that's a little thing that everyone's kind of forgotten. That, okay, so at the moment it doesn't really work. Is it for kids? Isn't it for kids? But then we've got till the 9th of December to get on the FTC website and comment on it and write your stuff in it. It's up until the 9th of December for you to put your... There's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of comments on there. They're going to look at that along with YouTube and try and find something that's good for all of us. All they need is a button that goes, in the middle.
Yeah.
That's what they need, don't they?
I mean, you look at the other big gaming channels as well. Like, you've got the, Jacksepticeye's, the Markipliers, the PewDiePies, and all big gaming channels and stuff like that. They still swear in their videos.
Yeah.
But they still get monetized. But I've noticed the little ones, the little channels like mine, for instance, if I drop an F-bomb, even on a gameplay or something like that, you drop an F-bomb, you can't put an ad on there.
Yeah.
It's because we don't earn enough to support the Google.
Oh, 100%. And you can see that from the ad creators kind of side of it. Do they want... Is it worth them taking the risk putting that ad on your site, on your video? You know what I mean? Like, if Jacksepticeye drops an F-bomb and YouTube goes, oh no, the ads are still fine. They've made enough money before it gets pulled off. Whereas if they do it to like one of ours, it's not, you know what I mean? It's not worth them risking it. The money they make from a Jacksepticeye mess up is massive compared to what the risk of losing on one of ours.
Yeah.
So once again, it's all down to YouTube listening to people like us right now and kind of finding a way to make it great for us and them at the same time, because they're in the same boat.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm of a different opinion, because I think the audience is still there. It doesn't really matter who they're watching. I think the traffic will continue. So as we've seen it before, when a YouTuber drops out, a new one pops up to take their place straight away and gets in on that kind of side of it. So I think YouTube knows that. I think YouTube knows that people grow, people disappear, people come back. The actual audience itself doesn't disappear. So I don't think they're as worried. I think they're worried about getting fined again, and that's why they've pushed it onto us and gone, your problem now, YouTubers. And that's what they've done. They've given it a really hard shove in our direction, because they go, we've paid a lot of money, we're out. But I think the audience itself will always be there, and that's only growing. So I think they overall know they're going to be okay. That's why they've paid this 170 million in total as a settlement. So they didn't get sued. It was a settlement. So it was kind of like outside of court. They settled it and just went, here we go. This is what we'll give you. And we'll close that complaint, because I think it was a complaint against them.
Well, Shula A says it's also with F-bombs. If they demonetize people like PewDiePie, they got millions of people with the backlash. But if one of you guys get demonetized, it's only us lot who will kick up a fuss. So it's only a small percentage.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yep. No, that is absolutely true.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely true. I think the problem is with the COPPA stuff and with the over the age of 18. So if your content is mature and you mark it as over the age of 18, you won't get money for that. You won't get monetized for that. I think you're absolutely right with the big channels, because they can get away with it because they do have that influence. They have that power, and they can use that in order to make sure that they can drop F-bombs everywhere. They can say kind of whatever they want. I mean, PewDiePie's got away with some really dodgy stuff over the years.
Oh yeah. Well, he is YouTube, isn't he? At the end of the day,
yeah.
YouTube wouldn't be YouTube without PewDiePie. Absolutely. It really, unfortunately, it wouldn't be, whether you like him or not. But again, this is going to hit him really hard too.
Oh yeah.
Think about it. Here we go. We're all worried about our little channels and some of the bigger guys that we follow. Look at PewDiePie.
Yep. He
plays Minecraft too. He made his money off of jump scare videos.
Yeah.
Jump scare video. You know what I mean? If you play it in Gmod, that's technically child friendly.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there that wouldn't be. Have you guys seen Frozen? That's scary, man.
Yeah.
That woman can shoot ice out of her hand, but that's for kids. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's all weird. It's all weird. Rancher says the same thing I replied to on Jag's tweets. YouTube is a corrupt company that doesn't want to lose a lot of money, and they don't want the responsibility, so they put it on the creators.
Yeah. Difference is there's more of us than there is of them.
Well, true that.
That's you know what I mean? Like, it's either going to, they're either going to have to do something where you can market it in the gray area and go, look, it is children's content, but I'm not putting it out for children. Do not put me on any of the children's sites. And then YouTube will go, fine, not a problem, but you will lose this side of your audience. That, the bracket, I think it's 13 to 17 that we see in our analytics, that just won't be there. Anyone with that just won't get it. And we'll go, oh, great, yeah, fantastic. And then 6 months, a year down the line, YouTube's going to turn around and go, well, actually, we've had a look at it, and we haven't lost our audience because now we believe that they're using their parents' phone. Or their parents' tablet.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? There's no way to kind of combat against that. Unless they add in some kind of, like, password.
I just don't understand why they just can't, like, they've got YouTube Kids, and they've got our YouTube, the adult YouTube, I'll call it. Why they can't implement something that if you're a kid, go to YouTube Kids, but then when you come of age, then you can come onto the platform. Yep. There's something missing there. why run two kind of YouTubes? YouTube normal, which I call our YouTube that we stream on and stuff. But then you got YouTube Kids. Now, everything on there is like kiddie friendly, family friendly, and all that sort of jazz. Well, why is it now spilling over to the adult creators and stuff like that?
100%. Spaza just said in my chat now, what do the Minecraft YouTubers choose? You know, are we mature or are we for kids? And that's kind of, like we were saying at the beginning of this, we're not. We're in the grey area.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
we're very firm in that grey area.
Yeah, so all of us are Minecraft tutorialers as our kind of primary part of content, and you can easily go, tutorial, they're teaching you how to do it, and because of that, we're having to say things slowly, or do you know what I mean? We, by trying to be good at it and make it clear, we can actually be making it look like we're aiming at kids, even though we're not. And
sounding like a patronizing voice.
Yeah, sometimes we do, don't we? Yeah, we go place that there, put that onto there, like that, and you know we'll really kind of hammer it a little bit sometimes. We're not doing that because we're going, there's probably some like 8-year-old there that's, you know, watching this video, and I need to make it really clear. We're just trying to make it clear because it doesn't matter how old you are. If somebody just goes, place thing there, do that, God, just get on with it and just. Do you know what I mean? Like that doesn't work. That doesn't work with people. That's not how you kind of like learn. You know, if you make it clear and you make it easy to understand, that's not because we're making it easy to understand for kids. It's just because we're trying to make it easy to understand for anyone.
Yeah, in generality,
Yeah, in general. So we've got a big problem as tutorialers, of Minecraft tutorialers, of it already having that kind of context that you're kind of go, well, look, they're saying it like they're making it a bit simpler or whatever, but that's not the intent.
Yeah.
No, and that's what I was saying earlier. It's going to be really hard for them to prove intent. Because it's going to be an algorithm. Well, let's be fair, there'll be an algorithm that's doing it.
Yep.
You know, so it's going to be really hard for that algorithm to prove intent of where it's meant to go. So we talked earlier about sticking those disclaimers at the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
How will an algorithm pick that up?
Unless you voice it.
Unless you voice it. But then an algorithm isn't going to understand every word, is it?
No.
You know what I mean? It's...
No, I think you can get away with it with an American accent, I guess, couldn't we? Just the beginning of our voices, because it's going to be, you know, written by an American. That's what they're going to use as their base. So we just do an American accent.
Yeah, I'm going to scream "I'm PewDiePie" at the beginning of every one of my videos.
Yeah. Shula A says also big channels have got the sponsorships to fall back on, so they call YouTube a bluff, right? So at the end of the day, they make their money that way. Rancher also said YouTube Kids is for kids. Then YouTube itself is also becoming YouTube for kids. Shula also goes on to say, okay, what kid actually says they're a kid when they sign up? Like, I think the people in the age of bracket of 12 to 17 section or whatever are like 7-year-olds. So people always say they're older than they are online. So true.
Yep.
Ranch also goes on to say, I forgot what Jag said in his video about COPPA, but he talked about this making it not enjoyable anymore. And I agree with him. That's why I don't bother to record my Commodore tutorials and the Kanga Akazuki and etc. And he says YouTube makes everything a hassle because they don't do anything that they should. Some fair points there. I mean, yeah, it's true. What kid does sign up and says, yeah, you know, I'm 17 or I'm 18 and they're like really 7? Just so they can start watching other stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good point. I know we touched on it really like a little bit earlier, but yeah, people do lie. We don't know, as content creators, we do not know if somebody's lying or not. We just have to look at our demographics and go, that is who's watching my video, and we have to trust that.
Yeah.
YouTube, though, and this is the interesting thing, YouTube would be able to track what that person's, because they say they're like 17, but they're actually, you know, 8 or whatever. YouTube can track their what they're looking at, and they could probably figure out who are kids. And I think this is where the key thing is. YouTube's the only one that knows that, because they're the ones that are tracking it. Those are the ones that they're the ones that are serving them adverts. They're the ones that are targeting them with recommended videos that are around the same kind of content. We don't have any control of that. We just see, this demographic's watching this video, or overall these kind of videos are pulling this thing, and we can group them up and have a look. But apart from that, we don't get the control. But however, YouTube is just going, well, hang on a second, content creators know what their content's for. It's up to them to sort this out. And for us in the grey area, we can't tell. And this is the really big problem. We can't tell who's watching it, who's really watching it.
No, exactly.
Because we don't have that context, we don't have that background. But at the same time, you could have an adult who likes watching kid stuff. And just enjoys that. So...
Yeah, it's
just one of the first things, isn't it?
That's the face we're going to pull this entire conversation, because that's literally all we know. Otaku said to me, branch out. Minds is a decent platform with a view-based payment now. So branching out into other things rather than YouTube. The problem is YouTube is such a huge force.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine trying to move your channel?
No,
it's too far down the rabbit hole now.
Yeah. I know a couple of people have said that, but this is just one case. Obviously, YouTube is probably the first to be hit by this because it is the biggest. Because it's the biggest platform. The FTC's seen that. YouTube has been saying we are the biggest platform for kids aged between X and Y, and because of that, they've been caught out on it. They're just the first. Twitch, I expect, will have to make some changes to their terms of service.
Yep.
I expect the same will happen with Mixer and any other platform. So even if you then did the gigantic move to another platform where you have no following, you'll have some people that you can obviously make a video and go, I'm over here now. Personally, if somebody did that, I wouldn't watch them because I would just go, I can't be bothered with that. I like YouTube. I like the way that it does certain things. Yeah, there's some bad stuff about it, but it's still one of the best, or it is the best out there compared to other products.
Yeah.
And, we've kind of built up this, especially I think all of us have been doing this for over 5 years?
Yeah.
Collected? Yeah.
4 or 5 years, yeah.
4 or 5 years. So we've all been doing this for about 5 years. You can imagine dropping it and then starting again is just... It'd make it so difficult. It'd be so difficult. It probably wouldn't be worth it. And yeah, but the problem has started here. YouTube's got a terrible fix for it. But I expect that if it does go through and it all goes fine, then similar kind of platforms will do a similar kind of fix, because what YouTube's trying to do is be way overprotective on this to make sure they don't get sued.
Yeah.
Yes. They want to be really protective of it. They want to go, no, we've paid our money. That is it. We want out. And because of this, we're going to do these really crazy rules, which aren't really... They're like extreme versions of COPPA in order to kind of like fix the problem.
Yeah.
Which is just... Yeah, it's just not... I can't see it working. But at the same time, it's a really difficult situation with the grey area that we're in.
Yeah, 100%. Like Spazza and Otaku said in my stream just now, that... Spazza's from the Netherlands, so their rules are different. And like we were saying earlier, it doesn't really matter where you are. YouTube's an American-based company, so COPPA will just take on board that, But then Otaku said, keep in mind that the FTC guidelines also have a general audience categorization.
Yep.
It's YouTube making a move, and that's what we said earlier. It's COPPA itself, if you read it, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really good. They've really they've had nearly 20 years, haven't they? Let's be fair. To sit down and really, really pull it out. But COPPA has only recently, in the last 6 years, been an internet-based thing, and it's still in its teething stages.
Yeah.
So you're now giving that to YouTube, which is domineering in like the video platform genre. It's going to throw its toys out of the pram and do everything it can to protect itself. Why wouldn't it? If it was me running YouTube, I'd do the same thing. You know what I mean? Let's be fair. Like you said, I've just paid all that money. I don't want anything to do with it. Let's just dump it on them. And now it's going to be that balance act. When it comes out on January 1st or whenever it releases, it will be ridiculous. And you'll see loads of people getting... Because you're not going to get that fine straight away. It's not going to happen.
No.
You'll get instances and emails and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It won't be a boom, instant fine.
Don't they have to give you notifications? The appliance like to say either remove it, edit it, take it down?
Well, yeah, they have to. They have to. By law, they have to. They can't just drop the fine.
Yeah, they can't slap it on there straight away.
No, 100%. And it'll be like a repeat offense kind of thing, just like monetization is now. When that came out, we all shot ourselves. Let's be fair. Yeah. You know what I mean? I had a live stream demonetized the other day because a tiny little chord progression in a song on Spotify that was in a non what's it called thingy was copyrighted. A chord progression. up. No, it's not. No, it's not. And then the minute I hit it back, they went, yeah, okay, fine. So it's a YouTube thing, innit? We're all saying, COPPA's coming on and it's going to destroy everything, but it's not. It's YouTube's integration of it that could ruin it.
Yeah.
Well, Shula A says YouTube are protecting their own asses, but I doubt that they'll deal with the proper 42,000 fines, because no matter how small the channel who gets it, as long as they are not in the grey area, will be the public outcry. Yeah, so that's basically what you was just saying.
Yeah,
just handball it.
Yeah, exactly. And the minute one of these big YouTubers gets that £42,500 fine and has the money to go, that's absolutely fine. I'll take it to court.
Yeah.
Because it's not YouTube making the rules and it's COPPA making the rules, YouTube will have to back that using COPPA's guidelines. And as we've already stated, COPPA's guidelines are actually kind of in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
They do go, that's absolutely fine. You can put out whatever content you want as long as you don't aim it at kids.
Yeah.
That it's fine. It's YouTube's thingy of that. So even if it did make it as far as them going, that's it, I'm going to fine you, chances of you actually getting fined, you may lose your channel, which is probably worse. Let's be fair. That's probably worse. So what would it come down to, guys? Like, if it comes out now January 1st and they said, right, your Minecraft videos are aimed at kids, and you dispute it and say, no, it's not. We stream or record and put out content for all ages because it's a tutorial, and you guys build medieval stuff. So medieval stuff, youngsters are not going to be interested in medieval stuff and know the history behind the lore and what happened and stuff like you guys do. It's you aim that at older people, and plus building medieval is a lot more difficult to build than modern, for example. Because you got to put the cracks in the bricks, you put angles and the way it's set out and located and stuff. But if they deem that as for kids, are you guys going to have the option to actually set it as kids and say, okay, or would you remove the video? What are your plans on something like that? Would you fight it? Well, it depends, kind of. For me, anyway, it would depend what they deemed as, you know what I mean? Because they'd have to give you a reason, wouldn't they? When they go, we're changing it, or we're moving it to not for kids, or we're taking it down for a certain reason. They have to give you a reason, and it would depend on that reason, I guess. But if they got to a point where they were just demonetizing and moving all videos, I'd just stop. I'd just delete my channel and disappear.
You literally delete. Well, you're not going to put it set as kids and let other people just like come into the channel and say, "Oh, Jesterwish has done videos, he's done this, and this," and everyone can still watch it, but you just don't get the revenue from it, and all the comments and all that will be gone and deleted, but they'll still have the video up there. Would you actually stop uploading or what?
I probably wouldn't delete it. I'd probably just stop uploading and leave it be until they decided to sort it out and maybe come back to it. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But like we were saying, it's just such a grey area, and we have no idea what's going to go on until it launches. We just don't know.
Yeah. What would you do, Daka?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, yeah. So I think there will be, as usual, the YouTube algorithm will go through and it'll do a sweep, and it'll try and help, as it usually does, with marking these as for kids or not for kids. Now, what we do is, and I'm sure you guys do, you put it into the gaming category for your videos, and you put the game as Minecraft, so that on YouTube Gaming it always gets flagged as Minecraft. They could go with a very, very simple algorithm. Oh, it's a gaming and it's Minecraft, set it all for kids. And they could go through there, and we could go, damn, does that mean it actually is? Does that mean that somebody else has actually looked at this legally and gone, this is more than likely for kids as an overall category? Or if they've just gone, I'm going to play it safe. And it's really difficult for us. We cannot tell. We won't be able to tell which of those two it is, because it's an algorithm, it's a machine that's doing it. And yeah, we won't be able to tell. So I think I would have to have a look. I'd have to have a look at it and go, right, I can't risk the fine. So, okay, let's mark it for kids. Let's stop doing that kind of content. And let's change it up. And it'll either be what I wouldn't want to do is lose all my videos. I wouldn't want to delete my channel at all. I'd want that to still be there. I'd definitely do a final video to explain everything and why and all the reasons. Now, I could end up going, because I still love games, I could end up going to the more mature games. So, looking for things that are specifically marked as, say, 18 and plus.
Yeah.
Some of those type of games. And start targeting those and start actually, playing with those. I think I'd lose a lot of my audience because of that. Definitely. And I think it'd be the same for you two guys, because as we know, Minecraft channels, usually the audience is purely Minecraft, and they're not as interested in other things. Because they're like us, they're addicted. They're addicted to the game, and there is nothing else, that can fill that gap except for Minecraft. They try other Minecraft-like games, and they keep on coming back because that's the same thing we do. We're exact same mind. So I think we'll lose a lot of our audience from doing that. So there'll have to be a choice of what do I actually do. Now, I've got a second channel where I do tutorials on like technology type stuff, which is aimed for adults. So it's to do with stuff with my real-time job. So things like SQL, programming, etc. and so forth, which isn't aimed for kids at all. And I don't think anyone would see that as aimed for kids because it's pretty damn complicated. Yeah. So for me, I might actually go over to that channel, even though that channel makes absolutely no money whatsoever, and just start expanding that and just go, right, let's just go and kind of go career focused and go for that channel instead. So I actually don't know. I really don't know what I'd actually do yet.
It's still early days.
It's still early days. I think YouTube is blowing up on this subject at the minute, which is helping and not helping at the same time, because you get the doomsdayers. Admittedly, my title of my live stream is COPPA-pocalypse, which is a doomsday type thing. But the reason is because it is kind of like that. That's what it seems to be at the minute. Everything's blowing up. Everything is... people are going, I'm going to lose all my money. And that's it. Or won't be here. And it's very difficult to actually read through the lines of what is real and what is just hype, and what people are trying to use this situation in order to make money. Whereas we're actually sat here, and the reason we wanted to do this podcast is because we are actually really concerned and we don't know what to do. And we thought, rather than being silent about it or randomly tweeting something about it, we wanted to have a completely open discussion between the three of us and you guys in the live stream as well, which is the reason we're doing it, because we don't know. And it's quite interesting to get the views of everybody as well. It's something that I'm quite interested in doing.
Yeah, totally. And it's because it doesn't also just affect us, does it? It affects the people that are watching us more so. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
It affects everyone. It really, really does. The only way I can see it, if we flip it on its head and look for what could possibly be fantastic, is if this algorithm, the minute you select it, not for kids, the algorithm goes, not for kids, we won't put it on any kind of platform. But the minute you select is for kids, it's that when the algorithm kicks in and really dives into it. Because we're all looking at this from, like we said, the doom and gloom, the apocalypse kind of background. Is this going to kill us because we're selecting it not for kids? Maybe it's completely the other way around. In actual fact, it'll be targeting the stuff that is for kids. And all those channels out there that are making kids content is the one that should be worried.
Yeah.
Because we said from the start, we don't make kids content. It's a kids game, yes, but we're not aiming it at kids. So it all boils down to that question of...
I think that is a really, really good point, because there are channels out there, and we've seen them, where they are really just... There is no doubt at all that they are aimed for kids, and they've been using this system of kids going on to YouTube under their parents' account and using it and viewing this stuff and getting everything from that.
Sorry, Shula just commented, but to be fair, apocalypses are fun.
But not kid-friendly.
No, not kid-friendly. No, not at all. No.
Not kid-friendly.
Yeah, that's right. Serious talk here. It's an adult conversation.
I personally think that, going off what you were saying before, Daka, about what you would do, you'd probably go over to your other channel and work on the business side of things for the adult, obviously business-orientated stuff. I think I've mentioned it to you guys already. What I'll end up probably doing is making all my Minecraft stuff as for kids and transfer all my game stuff back over to Zarius, because at the moment on my gaming channel, no matter what I upload or live stream, it's set for 15 plus. And YouTube have actually done that. Because I play games over there that are over 15 plus, it's automatically put my channel in that category of mid or older teens and adults. Oh, thank you for the sub, whoever that was. Thank you. But yeah, I'll just end up moving my gaming over to Zarius, so that way all the Minecraft stuff is still there for the Minecrafters to go reminisce on the past, videos that we've all done. We've done a lot of collabs with both of you guys. They can go and watch all that. That'll be all set for kids. But I'll move the gaming over to that channel because that is set for the older. And look, I don't think I'll ever quit Minecraft and upload into Minecraft or anything like that to the channel. I think, if people, watch enough and they beg enough and they say, we really want you to build this, and I get X amount of people saying the same thing, then yeah, I will. Even if, you put it as kids, I'll do that, but it wouldn't be all the time.
Yeah.
But see, I'm on the gaming side of, the real me, right? And you guys know this. The real me is a gamer from the late 70s. 1979, I started playing video games, and I still play them this day. That's where my passion is. Minecraft, I have a passion for, and I like seeing the smiles on people when they say, "Oh, thanks, dude. Thank you so much. This is awesome."
Yeah.
That's what I like to do, and I like to make things as well, like as you said before with the Legos and stuff. But if it comes down to it, I will keep everything on there. I will mark everything as kids. I will transfer my 15 to 18-year-old plus games over to Zarius, and I'll just keep going on that and throw in a couple of Minecraft videos here and there instead of just like leaving it completely stop.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably what we should come on to is new channels and how are they going to be able to figure this stuff out. I think because we've been doing this for about 5 years, we've had to learn so much stuff from that. You're now going to have to learn, obviously, editing and recording and audio. And now you're going to have to learn all this. Am I kid-friendly? You're going to have to start asking those questions. I think for the next kind of lot of people coming up, they're not going to know, because I certainly wouldn't have known when I started if it's for kids or not for kids. And that kind of worries me, because the next generation that's going to be coming up with new games, with new... Just the gaming community is so massive now on YouTube and on Twitch. It's awesome for us to be able to see this, I think. Because it always used to be this kind of, you're a nerd. And it was all this really negative kind of thing. And it's kind of grown really well. And my kind of fear is that it's going to put people off from making channels. And these kind of things are going to put people off from making channels, because we don't make a lot of money from it at all, from YouTube. But it doesn't really matter. That little bit of money kind of gives us let's be honest, it gives us a reason to keep going sometimes, because we're just going to go, oh yeah, well, that can like push me to keep on making some videos or do some other things or do a live stream or something like that. And actually, in reality, you could go and do any other job and make a hell of a lot more just by, just doing anything. But it kind of fuels our passion a little bit. It keeps us going from that side. And in the future, we're going to have people that are creating channels which there's just nothing there. There's nothing, their content could be marked for kids. They'll never be found. Nobody will sub to them. They can't comment. And that community side of it dies, which has grown so amazingly well over the last few years, especially. It's incredible what we can now see on YouTube and on Twitch as well, and that's good. That's a really good thing for something that used to be nerdy. It's now cool, which is awesome for us.
Yeah. Got Jensong Gaming here. Welcome to the stream, dude. He says FTC reserves the right at their discretion to determine what is for kids and what is not for kids. So even if we mark it as not for kids and YouTube says, no, it's not made for kids, we can clearly see it's not for kids. They're the one that dropped the hammer at the end of the day and says, no, it is. And we're going to ask them to remove it or whatever. He also goes on to say the biggest change will be the thumbnails. FTC says the ones that use a lot of colors, emojis, and weird and crazy faces are targeted as kids. So I agree with that, because there's one Friday the 13th game that I played, and I do the Elmo voice, and I stuck Elmo there with a machete. I'm going to have to remove that now, and I have to do a new thumbnail. But anything that looks like the freaking Cookie Monster or anything like that with the bright colors, he's right. It's definitely going to be affecting that. Stejan says that he wants to start again, but now I'm kind of disappointed because I can't really know my content type. Jensong also says, the word cool is specifically mentioned as being targeted as kids. Wow, I did not know that. Like legit, COPPA specifically mentions using the word cool. So if you say cool, is that...
That's it. You've just marked this whole... all the free... again, you've marked it not for monetization because you swore earlier, and now it's for kids.
Oh, I'm marking this for adults.
No, we need it to be... we need to be in that little... we need to be in this sliver right here. That's where we need to be.
The slither.
We need to get this video all out to the kids so the kids know what they're missing.
Yeah, what they're missing. Yeah, except
with
the swearing.
Get on there. Lie about your age. Make a 21 channel now.
Yeah, Shula A says, this is as stupid as people who think it's okay to hand signs. White power, cool for kids. Really? Yeah, true that. I agree. It's not even just like cool in general. It's wrong. I mean, look, as you said, Dak, we're on here, 3 guys, YouTubers, content creators, here to answer questions from people, read out the comments, and talk about what we do know at the moment and what we don't know. Yeah. And we're just having a chat about it. But it's fascinating to see people coming into the stream and talking about this, just as watchers even, because is it going to affect them, as Jester says, is it going to affect them as well, what they can and they can't watch? So it's a big, broad spectrum of everything thrown into a blender, just mixed up and spat back out. Yeah. And we're all like, what? What's happening?
And I think as a bit of a disclaimer, we should say that it's not the fact that we're arguing against the whole COPPA Act because we think it's fantastic. Yeah. It's the implementation of it that affects us. That's all. Because if I speak for all 3 of us, we want it to work and we want it to protect them. That's the whole point of it. But not at the denial of our channels.
Yeah. Wow. No, absolutely. 100% agree. The whole reason behind COPPA is completely valid worldwide. It is to protect children. And it is to safeguard them, really. Try and stop predators from being able to get to them. Stop tracking of their information and all that kind of stuff is absolutely awesome. It is completely needed. Like Self-Aware Snow has said, just remembered that this is also partially YouTube's fault. The FTC does recognize that there is content for all audiences, but YouTube does not. And I know we talked about that earlier to do with the general content. But yeah, absolutely, completely agree. Yeah, this is YouTube's gone. It's made for kids, not made for kids, but FTC goes. There's also general content, and if it's general content, then you can have targeted advertisement on there. But yeah, it's YouTube has definitely gone, it's this or this, and it's not. There is this grey area, and unfortunately for us, we are like smack bang in the middle of this grey area.
See, what I find confusing is they're able to make and implement a YouTube Kids. Why can't they make a YouTube Adults? Even that matter.
Both me and Jester just went. I think there's something for that, Z.
YouTube. Yeah, get your mind together now.
I was gonna say I'm on that quite a lot. I'm sure. I was on YouTube Adults earlier. It was all right.
I think if they've got the YouTube Kids and they've got that to a certain age bracket, to 13. Then they can go to a platform where it's YouTube Teens, and then from 18 go onto the normal platform. If they can implement a YouTube Kids, surely they can do something for the platform they were on now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it is so difficult because it is just 13 and up, and that's it. That's how it should work. But it's the people that have gone on to different accounts, and that is always the issue, that we're just going to be stuck. But the problem is that they're putting the onus on us, not on the adults themselves, and it should really be, I think personally, when I was growing up, there was some stuff that I watched that was 18, which was before I was 18, but my parents were totally happy with that, so that was their choice as my legal guardian at that point in time to say, yep, you can watch this. They don't have to sign anything. And I think that's the problem, is that with the digital age and everything like that, they're kind of FTC is expecting you to sign something and go, I authorize my child, Jimmy, to watch this content or whatever, which is just crazy. But at the same time, if they've already given them the tablet and they're kind of aware, they should be aware, really, of what their kids are looking at.
Yeah.
So
just stick a password before the videos.
yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah,
Done. 18 plus password. Blup. Done.
yeah. Enter your credit card information. Yeah, we'll do
Yeah,
that.
there we go.
There you
YouTube, I fixed it. I fixed it for you.
Yeah, pay us
But
to get onto YouTube Adults.
Yeah.
No,
The
when I was-
mature scene.
See, when I was watching
My other channels on YouTube.
Zarius Plays will have a completely different meaning on that then. Your channel's set up for it, buddy.
Yeah, it's all set, ready. No, I was watching Jag Thunder's video about it the other day, and he says he just does it for recreation and fun, and I think that's what we all do it for, at the end of the day. But it's not being fun anymore because of all this hype, because you're stressing, thinking, okay, well, how's my voice coming across? Is it patronizing? Is it too hard for people to understand? Swearing, I made a mistake, so you drop an F-bomb. Jag says, I swear all the time on my videos. That's Jag. You take Jag, you either take him or you don't take him, but he's not going to change for anyone. And I like that in Jag. But what happens now when you actually do a video and you do drop an F-bomb? Now, adults, yeah, okay, they watch videos, they watch TV shows worse than that. But in a video, they're going to take their ads, but yet on TV shows and stuff like that, ads are still put on. What's the goal with that? See, this is what baffles me.
Okay, so yeah, that is a really good point. So in TV, you're right, a kid could sit there and watch until after 9 o'clock, and they could watch some pretty horrific stuff, There could be stuff that's, sexual in nature, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, it could be murder, all that kind of stuff. The problem with that is, or the reason that they can technically watch that without the TV show getting sued, or the channel getting sued, which is serving those adverts, they're not personalised. And that's the difference, because personalised adverts mean that you're tracking information. And that's why YouTube is slightly different. And that's the kind of problem that we've got. General adverts aren't so much of a problem, but as we know, personalised adverts, they make a lot more in terms of money. And if you go to general adverts, we would be dropping up to, 80, 90% of your revenue. I think it's between 60 and 90% is what some estimates have said. Which is a huge amount of money. I mean, you can imagine that you earn, say, £100 a month, and then suddenly it's down to 10.
Yeah.
You'll feel that, absolutely. It doesn't matter how much you're actually making on YouTube, you will feel that kind of a hit.
Yeah. It's one of those things. But, yeah. I think we just got to play it by ear for another couple of weeks. What was it? The 28th today. December's now in a couple of days' time. You just have to wait and ride it out a couple more weeks to get more information.
Yeah.
And then deem what our channel is. Is it coming across as kids or adults? I at this point in time, and to everyone that's watching, I really don't know what to do with my channel, to be honest. I don't know if I should just mark it as kids and just say, right, well, I'm safe now because it's marked as kids and let's not worry about it.
Yeah.
Or do I sit back and wait just that little bit more and think, okay, I'll wait, get a bit more information, and then go through my videos and say, right, yes, that's adult. No, this is kids. Or just leave it and just wait for the outcome. That's where my head is at the moment. I just don't know where and what I should do.
I think, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to ride it out, wait till we get more information, not worry about it yet until I have to.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll just see, you know what I mean? If we keep putting content out and nothing comes of it, banging. We kind of like skated past the curve. We didn't make the cut. Like,
Yeah.
But I think the worst thing we can do, and I think that goes for everyone out there, no matter how big your channel is to worry and change everything.
Yeah.
Because you're pointing a big red sign going, look at me, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not creating stuff for kids. We've always said it. We're not. If we change anything now, it kind of gives intent, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they took me to court and they went, "Yeah, but you changed everything," I go, "Yeah, I did." Shit, sorry.
Yeah.
Just write it out. What's the worst that could happen? You put a video out and all of a sudden you get a hit, and they're like, "Oh, actually, that's for kids." Then you know. Then you know.
And you say, okay, no worries, I'll mark it as kids then, and
and then that's decision time, innit? That's crunch time.
I reckon that would be the best thing is if your video is looked at and it says, okay, that's deemed as kids, you've got 48 hours to recondition the video, either edit the video and take out the swearing parts or whatever. You can leave the thumbnails, you can leave the design, or they might turn around and say, yeah, that's made for kids, so just change it from adult to kids, leave the thumbnails, whatever. Then so be it. I reckon a 48-hour, maximum of 72 hours, because not everybody checks their emails on a daily basis. Get a notification like you would if video was flagged, and say, right, all right, I'll either edit that or just leave it and just mark it as kids.
Yep.
Instead of just going bang, take that video off or whatever. Give you 48 hours to make adjustments to it. And if you want to take it down, take it down. If you want to leave it up, then just make the modifications for it. I reckon that would be a better process. They might be implementing that sort of thing.
Exactly. We don't know until they do it. Otago just said tag your content as general /audience /adult, and that's the problem. That option isn't there. It's either kids or not for kids.
Yeah, I was watching the interview of the FTC, that guy in the grey suit, grey hair, the old guy, and he says, "Oh, we're going to do sweeps. We've got the technology, we've got this and that, and we're going to hit hard." And I think a lot of people watched that interview and saw that and thought, "Oh my God, what's going to happen?" and start to panic. And look, I will be honest, I was one of those people that panicked. I'm thinking, well, if he's legit in what he's saying and the way he was talking about, he's going to hit hard, then at the end of the day, the ad apocalypse hit hard with everybody, and that just happened one bang.
Yep.
And people were like, "What's happened? Where's all my ads gone?" And then they come out a few days later and said, "This is happening." I mean, there's YouTubers out there at the moment putting up videos saying it's already started and it's already hit their channels, had their videos removed and stuff on their channels already deemed as kids, which is clearly not, and they're in debates now of filing an appeal for it. But no, they just need to step up the game and make it all clear to the content creators. I mean, we are working not just for ourselves, but we're actually working for YouTube or Google. We're making them revenue money as well.
Yeah,
for people to stay on their platform and watch.
Yeah, quite a lot as well. I mean, they take quite a large cut actually.
Yeah.
Which I think people don't realise. I was trying to find the actual amount earlier. I don't know if you guys remember it off the top of your head, but
no,
it's either it's between 20 and 40%. It might even be 40% these days, but it is quite a lot. But yeah, I'm sure you can find it online somewhere. But yeah, it's quite a lot of money that they're actually taking, and obviously for them to just throw us, I say they're throwing us under the bus. They have obviously paid 180 million, or 70 million, sorry, 170 million dollars.
So, yeah.
But still, it's a very big. Since they're taking such a big cut from us and every YouTuber, it just makes it very difficult for us anyway. But I don't know. Should we call it that a day? Do you think? Do you think we've discussed everything we want to discuss as a group?
Yeah, unless you guys can think of anything else. I'm in the same position we were when we started.
Yeah, exactly. All of us are. I think.
Same thing. But I think we've answered a lot of questions for the viewers anyway, and haven't told them what our thoughts are. But we still want to hear what you guys think. So if you want to put your comments down in the comments section, it will be all open for you guys to continue the conversation with. Yep. Be sure to check out Jesterwish and Lord Duck and myself. Links are in the description down below. We've streamed this on 3 platforms, so it's getting out there and stuff. But we all want to hear what your thoughts and opinions are, so keep the chat going. And, let us know what your thoughts are on everything, what we've discussed, your thoughts and opinions, where you think you stand. But,
And also let us know what you think about this podcast as well, because we're thinking of trying to make this like a kind of regular thing, whether it's going to be monthly or what. But for me personally, I've quite enjoyed this kind of format. I think it works quite nicely. So, also if there's anything that you guys want us to discuss, just openly discuss, and you guys be a part of that discussion, let us know in the comments as well. Not just about the COPPA stuff if you're not too interested in that. Let us know about the other stuff that you want us to talk about. And of course, do go and check out Zarius and go and check out Jester as well. So there are links in the description of the video. Go and see him. And they're also on the screen as well, because Zarius made that nice. Yeah, it's all
shout out to Zarius for making that background.
Big shout out to Zarius for the background. Yeah. All these boxes right here, this thing that I'm in, that's all Z. It's awesome.
But it is colourful, so
that's true. Yeah, can you make it a little bit more? Just guns. Just put guns all over it.
Guns and blood everywhere.
Actually, don't do that. We'll get demonetized because guns are actually can't put guns in the thumbnails now. So
a couple of days, it's Christmas time. Is December, so we'll have to make a Christmassy theme.
That appeals to children.
Snow.
Actually, you're right. Yeah. We could actually do a Christmas one.
That would be good.
That would actually be quite good. So we'll do a Christmas themed one. Maybe we'll talk about Christmas. Maybe we'll talk about something completely random and just make it all look Christmassy. Who knows? But yeah,
definitely. Put your thoughts and opinions down. What you want us to talk about on the next stream. I reckon we'll do another stream because I enjoyed it as well.
I enjoyed it
absolutely.
But guys, Jesterwish, Lord Daka, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast tonight. Really appreciate it. And
au revoir.
We shall see you all on the next live stream. Bye bye, everybody.
Cheers. See you guys.
Goodbye.